What's going on? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nasdaq, the Russell, the SPY, like all the major, and the Dow, as well as the Magnificent Seven and a few other names to see if we can find some buying opportunities. Is there a trend reversal yet? And see if there's any hope. Obviously today was a bit of a rough one. Here's our heat map. Let's do the full. Yeah, that's a big yikes. Did you lose some money today? I know I did. What was your biggest loser? Mine was Costco. Costco still getting hit hard over the last week. What was your biggest loser? Comment below. And while you're at it, why don't you hit that like button and subscribe? All these things help the algorithm, and I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, and your help in that is greatly appreciated. Before we dive in, quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only and for entertainment and not to be construed as financial advice. Read the disclaimer below. Okay, so let's take a look at the SPY. I did a full deep dive into the SPY just now. The video is uploaded. Why don't you go ahead and click on my channel and check that out if you want to do a deep dive. I do believe there is more pain to come. We had a close under Tenkinson yesterday, and then an absolute brutal drop today. And it looked, in my opinion, I think we are headed to the 545 level before being able to continue forward. This area right here, when we pushed forward and then we got rejected, we should have never pushed forward. So right now we're coming down to retest these levels. 550 held today. We're at 553 post-market. You might see a little bit of a relief. However, I want to show you the Heikin-Ashi candles, which identify trends, and you can see we've had a couple brutal candles, and usually that indicates a strong downtrend. So proceed with caution on the S&P 500. The Nasdaq, you should be proceeding with caution even more. Let's take a look at the candles. So we had a close under Kijinson yesterday and then again today. Not loving what I'm seeing, and we do have a gap right here at about 467 to 471. Gaps have a tendency to fill. So I would suspect that we see a gap fill happen. I would not be surprised whatsoever. Let's take a look at the Russell 2000. So the Russell, obviously we had a doji candle and then a big push down. And if we look at the Heikin-Ashis, we have a big ugly reversal doji candle. So according to Heikin-Ashi, you should have had, if you're looking at the daily, you should have had your stop loss at about 217 and gotten stopped out. Yeah, so the Russell, obviously it ran up really hard and it actually underperformed today. So when I was looking at these recently, obviously it was outperforming, and then we had a rough day yesterday and it held up a little bit stronger. Today, not so much. We had a bit of a brutal sell-off. Let me pull up the regular candles here. So we filled this gap. Maybe that's all we needed, but I'm going to be holding off on DCAing just yet. I'd like to see what comes of tomorrow, because we do have just like a blow off the top situation. We may need to cool off, and actually I want to take a look at the Russell. So I believe I have Heikin-Ashi candles set right now. We do have a pretty brutal MACD crossover that happened. This is not the daily, one sec. And these are regular candles. I want to look at the Heikin-Ashis. So yeah, we have this doji right here. I want to see what happens tomorrow before making a decision. We did have a big you know, we got really overextended in the RSI. The RSI is coming down to cool off. We may need the MACD to kind of cool off as well. I do have a level here at 212. That is a Fibonacci level. We hit the top of the Fibonacci channel at 226.64, like right below it. And, you know, we pushed through the 50%. We pushed through this very old 23.6%, and we just kept pushing higher. I don't know if we'd come all the way down to the 61.8. If we do, I will be buying some shares right there. But let's see if we can't identify some levels where we could potentially see this pullback ending. So we kind of got to this consolidation area, but the problem is we closed below the, we closed below the 50-day moving average on the, on the 4 hour. Let me go to the daily. So the 50-day held up. We closed right on top of it. So that's good, I guess, and we closed this gap. That may be all that was needed, but I don't expect to see like a huge bounce tomorrow. It could happen. Let's take a look at the 15-minute, just see how things are going. So we do have a bit of a crossover occurring, you know, on the MACD on the 15-minute, so this trend is the strongest it's been all day. But we are going to have to break past this, you know, we're going to have to break past 225, 226 before I would say that we're really, you know, game on again. But yeah, the Russell, it had a big sell-off today. I do think the pain continues. You know, we undid this whole move right here. I'm going to go to the 4 hour because that's more interesting to me because of how fast this move was. This is almost like the daily for that. So yeah, so we had on the 4 hour, we had a doji and then we had a push down. So we are in a downtrend, and this right here indicates that, you know, there's some strength to this downtrend. So I'm really looking here at like 214, 212. I don't think that we have to come all the way down to the cloud. And I'm actually quite surprised that the Tenkan-sen didn't hold up. The 50-day, you know, here, let's go to the daily real quick. This is the 10-day moving average that it actually closed over. You know, typically strong trends, you know, they'll do that, but we might need to come down to this level before we can justify just holding on the 10-day moving average. So yeah, Russell, it's in question. I have a small position on, like a partial position, and you know, because like it's so unpredictable right now, and I can't afford to not be a little bit exposed to the Russell. On the daily, you know, obviously we got really cooked on the RSI. I wouldn't be surprised if we stay. I do think that the Russell's going to have a really strong third quarter, and we're seeing a lot of rotation out of big tech stocks. We'll get to that later. Okay, let's look at the Dow, because the Dow had an interesting day today. All right, are these? These are regular candles. So we rejected off the 55.65 Fibonacci level, and I wouldn't call it a bullish engulfing, but it is an ugly pattern that we have here. So we may be coming down to test the 54 level. We have a lot of support here. We got the 50-day moving average. We got the Kijun-sen, and we have the 50% fib level. So I think 54 should hold up. Keyword should. But the Dow on the daily, it's not really like, the Ichimoku doesn't love it. We did have a MACD crossover, but we're still below the cloud, so I would be careful with the Dow. Let's look at just tech, XLK. Just tech in general. So yeah, we closed under the Kijun-sen today. a return to about 211 here. I'm going to pull up VGT because that's what I use. So we closed right at the 161. We got the 100 level down at 537. So, and we closed above, we tested 161.8, closed above the Kijinsen. So that's good. But these big red bars, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable if I start seeing a green bar form, because then we might actually have some kind of reversal happening. So I'll be waiting to see that. Right now, price is at 579, which is actually actually here. Let's go to the 1 minute. 579. So that is below. Is that below the Kijinsen? It's right at the Kijinsen. So it actually, you know, it's sitting right on the Kijinsen. Yeah, I'm wary about it. We almost fell under here. We blew up the top. Yeah, we're having a retest here. Also, big histogram bars on this crossover as opposed to, like, you know, here we didn't really get that deep. So usually when things start off big, they get bigger. So okay, let's move on to the Magnificent Seven. We're going to start with NVIDIA, the one shining star holding itself up today. Right, so it doesn't want to break the 117 level, it looks like. Let's go to the regular candles here real quick. And actually here, let's go to NVIDIA on here. So what do we have here? We have a GAN level. We have a GAN level, and it's held up a whole bunch of times. I don't like how many times we're retesting it, but this 119 level, and we're at 121 right now. So this GAN level seems to be support. I'm looking for this to stay in this fib channel and get back into the arc. So NVIDIA might have life. And how we go over the Magnificent Seven is going to inform how I feel about where the S&P is going to land. Tesla closed under Tenkan-sen again. So I don't love that. This GAN level has held the last few days, and that GAN level is at 245. Let's go to the Heikin-Ashi candles real quick, see if we can. Yeah, so we're in a chop. So there's a lot of indecision heading into earnings. This GAN level is, I think it's going to hold into earnings, but I don't think we're going to see like strong up moves or down moves until the earnings call. That would be my prediction for Tesla. Apple got stopped out today. We are in a downtrend now. The GAN levels and the ARC sits at 221.50, and I do suspect that this should hold because we are very in the ARC. And so let's take a look at the regular candles. So we did almost touch it today. I wouldn't be surprised if we flirt with it a little bit, and that would be, I believe, my buying opportunity. If I get an opportunity right here, especially, you know, I'm gonna extend this to the left here, especially if it looks like we're staying in this fib channel, I'm looking for it up. But I'll be perhaps re-entering a position if I like what I see over the next, you know, Friday and Monday. We're going to see how this area holds up. Meta, I added a share today because the cloud, we fell under it and then we closed above it. Look at that. Thing of beauty. Cheers to anyone that picked them up at 460, you daredevils. I guess you could have just like assumed that this consolidation area would have held up. But yeah, it looks like, you know, maybe we can make it back into the arc. That would be nice. So I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, obviously, if all of these turn to the bullish, then the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 will be back in force, and we will have avoided the big one this time. But man, I'd be shocked if that really happens. So yeah, the cloud held up. What I like about this, I can set my stop loss like 472, or at least keep an eye on that level, because really this should hold up now. All right, moving on to the big guy, Microsoft. Oh my God, man, we were moving just fine. We were trucking, and then we got hit hard. And it looks like this line I drew is holding, this 440. I actually re-entered some of my shares right at this level, which that turned out pretty good. Let's look at the Heikinashis though. Yeah, brutal down moves, but it does look like the 440 is holding, at least for now. And then you have major support at like 430. So, you know, I'm not expecting a full breakdown here. And, you know, it's already been a rough go about with Microsoft. Microsoft seems to be leading the whole trend, you know, with the Nasdaq. It is a leader in the stock market. Okay, we're going to keep moving to Google. Google. Rough stuff. All right. Closing under this fib channel. We could be going to the cloud, you guys. And we could even be hitting this GAN level again. 170, 173. Yeah, I mean, this level, I like this 174 level for Google, because you had this big consolidation, and that was about the bottom, and you also have the cloud right here. Yeah, so I do like this 173, 170 level, you know, like right in there. I would consider adding a position there, because then you can set a tighter stop loss to like 164 or something like that. We did have a gap here, a little concerning, which would put us back into the arc. And yeah, if we're in this fib channel, it could come all the way down there before we move up. But yeah, I don't really invest in Google. I don't trust the management team, just put it that way. Amazon, this is today I had I opened up my thing and it was like trending upward, and I was like, I don't know. And I didn't buy in, and then yeah, thankfully I didn't, because I got it a couple bucks cheaper. But I do have a partial position on with Amazon, because I do think, you know, like the cloud held up, and we're pretty much right inside of this whole like consolidation that we had. So I do like this area. I don't know if I'm going to get an opportunity to buy it any lower than this, like 180. And if we look at the Heikinashi candles, you know, like I picked them up at like 183. I don't think that we're going to really, you know, it looks like we bounced right here, this 181 level. You know, it looked like this level held up, and that's right on the cloud. So this 181 level is pretty, it's pretty strong support. So, you know, we might flirt with that area again. It could happen, and we could get down to this like previous low of 174. I would probably start loading the boat at that, because that's, you know, I bought in at I think it was like 174 right at the beginning of the year. Where was it? I think I got in like right around here. And, you know, I enjoyed this whole move. I started trimming up here because it was like, oh, we're not breaking out. So I don't want a full position on until I see continuation. And thank God I did, because I missed most of this drawdown here. And that's why I'm kind of eager to get back in, because since I missed all this, like, that's a W. I don't want to give any of that back. And I just don't know why this company is selling off. There's no fundamental reason. I think what's going on right now is there were crazy gains in the Magnificent Seven. Wealth managers are, like this season, summer is usually like kind of like a underperforming season. And you have all these geopolitical risks going into the election. So why wouldn't you trim your winners? Why wouldn't you trim your winners and then start moving it into positions that have underperformed so far this year? Because we are in a bull market, and it will broaden out. So I think that's what they are thinking. So that's why I do think the Russell will do well in the third quarter, and value, like things like that. The underperformers, I think they're going to do okay. However, I would not rule out, shock events like we saw the other weekend. So, but anyway, Amazon, I like it. It's kind of in my buy zone. I don't like the Heikin-Ashi candles are looking a little ugly, but man, I'd be shocked if we were almost breaking through. So I'd be shocked if we didn't, hold up here. Let's just take a look at the levels I've drawn for Amazon. So this GAN level, this GAN fan has held in the past. See this? Boom, boom, boom. So I do like it right here. I'm just gonna double check what my position size is. I'm going to increase my position size to about 10 shares here, because this could be the bottom. Could be. So I don't mind adding a little bit. You're gonna fill my position, dang it. All right, fine. I'll buy it 3 cents higher, make everybody happy. Okay. Moving on to Costco. Oh, wait. Yeah, Costco. Dang it, Costco. So we broke under, but we closed higher than all of these bounces. So this 340 level. Here, let me see if I can see something here on my other screen. Yeah. So we hit 325, but we're already back up to 340, and I have some GAN fans drawn. I'm going to go to the daily real quick. So you can see we dropped, and then we came back up. It wants to get back into this GAN channel. And this might have been a stop loss freak out. And I really, truly hope that we're at the bottom with Costco. Let's look at Heikin-Ashi's. So we did have, look at this. So we did have a big doji candle. It's not a green one, but it might want to recover. I think Costco, it wants to recover. Let's just put it that way. If it doesn't, though, we could be looking at $800. And, the high of this over here, obviously that was like a big, $785. $800, like that area. Like if you are someone that always wants to buy Costco, but it's always too expensive, like you might never see this area, but I might buy an extra share if it gets down there, and I already have a full position on with Costco. But sometimes when things are too cheap, you gotta buy them in bulk, right? Okay, so let's take a look at Netflix. Just posted earnings today, and I did get my opportunity to buy at, here, let's go to the 10-minute chart. So right now it's sitting at 640, is that right? 643. I'm going to go here real quick because I can see what the live thing is. We just had earnings. Yeah, so strong recovery. I picked up shares at, I think, 629. Well, I picked up one share at 629. So it looks like it's trying to reverse the move. That would be a shock, wouldn't it? That would be a freaking shock. I guess some other information, maybe the earnings call is going really well. But yeah, I picked up my 1 share, and that's good for now. I want to wait and see, and like if a trend starts to form and we start to recover or something, I'll get involved. But right now I ain't buying. I mean, look at it. It's still under the cloud. It hasn't broken through here. I mean, this is a pretty strong turnaround, but until we're over 658 or under 600, like this, I hate these how this happens on earnings, but it closed at 643. The price is at 640, so yeah, I'm not going to buy another share and just like FOMO into this, but I got my 1 share at the price that I wanted, and that's good enough for me. $600 is $600. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It is what it is. Let's just take a look at the daily though, and see what we can see. So it's sitting at 640, which is right here. So it's just at the low a day is really what it's trying to battle up against. Like, can it break the low a day? I think is what we're testing here. If it can't, I mean, watch it down to maybe 625. And 600 was the low of, so these levels are critical levels, and it looks like it hit both the levels. I wish I would have caught it. I forgot, and then, I was 5 minutes late to the party, and, I still caught it at 6:30, so close enough, I suppose. But yeah, Netflix, interesting movements on it. Eli Lilly, the beast that could until it couldn't. We are sitting right at a GAN level, and we did close under it, poked through it. Post, we're at 855. So I'm tempted to buy my share back. 855. I am tempted to get my share back. Yeah, Heikinashi says no, don't do it, but this GAN level it exists. There's probably going to be some consolidation. I don't think there's going to be some like crazy bounce back. If I'm wrong, haha. But like, yeah, I mean, when you get a candle like this, there's not just like, I don't know. If there is like a recovery and we get back above like the center of this fib channel, then I will accept that this level is good to go. But yeah, it was an ugly, ugly candle. I don't like buying into falling knives. Look at this huge red volume bar. So this just could be a bounce, and then who knows? We could come down to the cloud. We could come down to the arc. So, I mean, look, like this all happened in June. It was only a month and a half from the arc to the second arc. So that normally doesn't happen. Broadcom. Important in the Nasdaq. I don't know what happened to my drawing, so this is like weird. What happened? Okay, so I guess we're not going to do Broadcom today. Sorry if you're a Broadcom fan. CrowdStrike. We hit the bottom of this fib channel that has held up multiple times. I added a little bit. I started DCAing back in because I got out when we got below this, and I missed this whole move. Survived it. Heikinashis are not looking the greatest ever, obviously. But this trend line has held up since the bottom of April. So, the more I look at these charts, I don't know if there's more pain to come. There probably is. It's at least going to be indecision, I think, for the next few days. I don't know if this is absolute bottom that we've seen today, but I wouldn't be surprised. We may, with CrowdStrike, it may come down to touch this GAN level one more time because we got up, we rejected. It might come down to make sure that this GAN level is good to go because there was a lot of question marks over the last year. It's been playing with this damn GAN level for a while, so not yet in an uptrend for CrowdStrike, and this is one of those things where I like to be. It has a high beta, so ride it if you can. All right, we're gonna call it there. Trade to win. Be smart. If you like the video, please hit the like. It helps the algorithm. Let me know. Comment below if you see something I'm not seeing, or tell me what your biggest loss this week was. I find that interesting. Also, if you're not a subscriber yet and you watched a few videos, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? That way you can see my videos pop up. And I will catch you on the next one. See you later.